out on the water and around town with our host, Chris Emmons.
Below the state of Florida, there are 1,700 islands scattered about like vibrant green jewels on the water. They are the Florida Keys, and the road called US 1 travels to and along them till it ends on an island called Key West. This road was built on top the old foundation bed of a railway that had been completed in the very early part of the 19th century. Because US 1 exists today, travel among islands located here is possible, and so we are able to visit the islands. And this explains why the Keys is an ultimate destination point, where we are able to experience tropical weather, vegetation, water views, and wildlife. We are here on a road trip together and head towards the sister cities of Marathon and Key Colony Beach in the Middle Keys. On our right side, as we drive south, there is the Gulf of Mexico, also called the Bay. And on our left side is the Atlantic Ocean. And along both sides of the highway are small, rectangular, green with white numbered mile marker signs that mark approximately how far you are from Key West, which is at mile marker 0. And so, if you're ready, let us begin our road trip together. As we continue driving south on US 1, we notice how the picturesque scenery in the Florida Keys lulls the senses. There are endless horizons of turquoise-colored Atlantic Ocean, emerald green Florida Bay, and crisp blue sky, and it becomes easy to enter into a kind of trance and just drive and drive. It's beautiful, even unbelievable, and it's very easy to just keep cruising. And that's why I'm here with you, to help us not drive past really cool stops where we can experience wonderful things. The next place we stop during our road trip together is located at mile marker 67.5 Oceanside. It is the Long Key State Park on Long Key. This island has an interesting history, and we'll delve into that, but first, let's learn about the state park that is on this island. We are here at the Long Key State Park, and the exceptionally neat thing about this place, it's on Long Key, and it's a very thin and narrow and long key, is that the state park is also a thin, narrow slice of land on the ocean side. And you have these wonderful camping sites, which I'm coming across what I think I would like to stay here for a couple weeks, but I don't have a camper. You can also have a tent here, and the camping sites give you the opportunity to have trees on each side in between each campsite, and each campsite gives you a fence to catch yourself in case you try to fall over, and a fire ring so you can cook, and a picnic table, and a beautiful spot to put your RV or your tent. It is lovely here. Everybody has an oceanfront view. It's like being on the Rockford Files. And I see we have a neighbor. I don't know if he's home. No, he's gone. But we can see that this is what a living campsite looks like, separated by what makes great neighbors, and that is a fence. And I see he has his fire grill with his pots and a sprayer, I guess, in case the fire flares up. And he's living in a tent that looks very sturdy and in his own beautiful spot. I think he's single. Now, you know, some things I just pick up. How many chairs do you see? Oh, I hope you're having a good time. And let's go look some more at this state park, okay? This is too much fun. This is a great day. This is breezy. This is beautiful. This is the fabulous Florida Keys. Oh my God. Key State Park is on the ocean side of US 1, right there, and it's nestled among the trees. That happens to be a little opening. So you've got all these campsites just in a row, ready to go. And I'm going to take you to the next place here in the Long Key State Park, and that's for the day visitors, because you can come here for the day, you don't have to camp. So let's go catch your car, go to the other side of the park where they have day visitor stuff. Come on, let's go. For the day visitors here, they have a wonderful picnic area with grills. You're right along the beach, so you can go swimming, you can enjoy the offshore ocean breeze. They've got showers and a bathroom just across their little road, and they have kayaks for you to rent, and you can go snoobing and snorkeling, and just having a really nice time here. A lot happened on Long Key during the early 20th century when Henry Flagler constructed his railroad to connect Key Largo Island to Key West. A work camp was built on the southern tip of the island for the workmen to stay in as they constructed the 2-mile-long Long Key Bridge that connects with the next key. Barracks and cottages were placed oceanside, and once the railroad was completed, they were converted into the Long Key Fishing Camp. The fishing camp became a popular sports fishing destination for the rich and famous, and it was served by the railroad. Here, the greatest saltwater fishermen vacationed in quarters that could accommodate 75 guests. Because the 2-story lodge and 30 cottages were oceanside, they enjoyed continuous trade wind breezes, and the camp's fishing boats took advantage of the quieter bay waters by docking bayside. Zane Grey, the famous author of adventure novels, which became the basis for the Western theme in literature, was a sports fisherman, and between 1911 to 1926 made Long Key his winter home. Mr. Gray's name grew to be associated with the Long Key Fishing Camp when the fishing camp formed the Long Key Fishing Club in 1916. Zane was its first president and held office through 1919. The fishing club was more commonly known as Zane's Gray's Long Key Fishing Club, and most folks assumed Zane Grey was owner of the fishing camp. But actually, he was the celebrity whose name endorsed it, and the business was actually quietly owned by Henry Flagler. The Long Key Fishing Camp was discontinued in 1935. Long Key is also home to the small incorporated city of Layton, and as you drive through it on US 1, you understand why some businesses include the words Zane Grey in their name. Information about the Long Key Fishing Camp, Zane Grey, and much more about Florida Keys history is at a website assembled by the passionate work of Jerry Wilkinson. It's a great website. Remember, keyshistory.org. Hey, hi, guess what I found? And I mean literally found. I was going down the road, I'm just south of Layton, maybe 2 city blocks. On the bay side, which would be the right, look hard and you see a little opening, and I thought, I've traveled this 1,000 times. And I stopped and I found this. But I don't know what it is. Usually, I come to you all prepared to tell you everything. But this time, would you do your homework and look up Layton Nature Trail, and then contact me. either at the Facebook page, Explore the Keys with Chris Emmons, or my email, chris@marathonflorida.com. And tell me what the Layton Nature Trail is. This is exciting. Let's go look at some views. I found a surprise at the end of the trail. I found water. We're on the south side of the bay side of Layton, city of Layton, and I didn't know this was here. So you didn't know this was here, and now we both know this here, so you gotta come. I see how I strung the dots for you? Come check it out. As we motor along together, heading south on US 1 in the Florida Keys, we stop at mile marker 65, where we come across two separate bridges that span a 2-mile wide waterway called Long Key Viaduct. The newer bridge is the Long Key Viaduct Bridge, and an older bridge, the one used by Henry Flagler's railroad, is oceanside to it and called the Long Key Viaduct Fishing Bridge. This bridge is an extremely popular bridge for fishing off of, walking across, or bicycling over, and there is always a lot of activity along its 2-mile length. The Long Key Viaduct Fishing Bridge is considered one of the prettiest in the Florida Keys and boasts paved parking at both ends. So if you miss one parking area, you can turn into the next one 2 miles down the road. 3 miles further south at mile marker 60 is a green and white mile marker, and it marks the end of our road trip together. This is the northernmost boundary line of our destination, the islands of Marathon that contain the city of Marathon and the city of Key Colony Beach. Soon I bid you happy trails as you embark on your very own marathon adventure, and if you're local, you know you're almost home. Your adventure and ours as locals is consistently wonderful. There is so much to do: sightseeing, boating, swimming, snorkeling, scuba-ing, snuba-ing, fishing, dining, often on fresh-caught seafood, listening to musicians at the many local tiki bars, and then there's always relaxing. And all this in a beautiful climate with gorgeous views. For a few moments before you begin your adventure, let's share time being close to the sea. Its endless horizon, attention-grabbing movement, and mesmerizing reflections of sunlight which sparkle cause the sea to appear as if it has a life of its own. For thousands of years, men and women just like us have been captivated by the call of the sea. Something draws us to it, if only to walk the shore. And it may be that somewhere deep in ourselves, we recognize something wholly and uniquely special about seawater. If you've watched the Explore the Keys with Chris Emmons show, you know that I've asked you to step forward and let me know what your hobby is down here so that we can grow tremendous hobby clubs, because having a hobby and sharing it with others, the time creates emotional connections, and emotional connections are what gives life a greater, deeper, wonderful texture. You also would know that I'm a straight shooter. So when I come here to share with you about my hobby, perhaps you'll give me a listen. We have a hobby club down here that meets monthly during the winters, and what we do is we collect the good stuff from the seawater. We call it Ormus, or we call it sea solids, or we call it the good stuff, and we give it to our plants, our animals, and to people. This is what the seawater looks like, clear. I can also use reconstituted sea, which is where I would take a natural sea salt, mix it with distilled water, and make a reconstituted sea. Do a simple process on it, and we drop the precipitate from the seawater, which really is all the minerals that was in the seawater. But when you give the precipitate after it's been washed with more distilled water to your plants and to your animals, and even if you choose to yourself. There's a tremendous difference that happens. We believe that there's this awesome vitality. There isn't any other way to explain it. So I did want to take this time to share this with you because this is an awesome material to know about, and I wouldn't take your time if it wasn't. And so let's take a moment while I share with you some places that you can go to for more information on your own. This is our seawater. It's trying to get away in this wind. It's quite breezy. You can go to Sea Crop, like the Sea-Crop, because they make a product like this for you to put on the plants, and they have a lot of information there. You can go to a website called subtleenergies.com, and that's like an extensive library on the Ormus material. You can go to some YouTubes that Conch Records, local Conch Records has made for me. There's Intro to Ormus, and get a feel for it. But like I said, it did make a difference in my world, and I thought that you should have an opportunity to know about it. And this would be an example of what I want to do with your hobby club when you tell me your hobby. So contact me, Chris@marathonflorida.com. And if you're specifically asking questions about Ormus, that would be ormusbook.com, which does remind me, I wrote a book. The book describes how to collect it for yourself. And the book is called Ormus Modern Day Alchemy. And you can pick it up locally in Marathon at Ellen's Health Food Store. It's at the libraries at Marathon and Key Largo. So if you're off of the islands, they can interlibrary it to your library. It's at Amazon.com. And we do have monthly Ormus gatherings here where we talk about Ormus and we demonstrate how to collect it, and we have a lot of fun. So if you're so inclined, go explore. I love you. Ormus is everywhere. Air, water, sea, rocks. What is Ormus? It's a beneficial natural supplement that promotes good health and an ability to get to know yourself. It's in here. We're going to collect it. Seawater, pH meter, a stirrer, and our special solution that's non-toxic but high pH. We watch the pH meter. When it gets to be the right pH, we stop, and voila, we have got our Ormus. And here, my friends, new and old, is the finished product, the precipitated, washed, and ready to enjoy. Salute! When you drive down US 1 in the Florida Keys, be sure to stop by mile marker 65 on the Long Key Viaduct Bridge. Get out of the car, stretch, walk on the bridge, look out at the ocean, and daydream. You're close to the end of our road trip together and the beginning of your own magical marathon adventure in the fabulous Florida Keys. We had a lot of fun. We went a lot of places. I so enjoyed sharing it all with you. Thanks for coming with me. You added so much to my day. And now it's close to time to leave. However, I have one big surprise for you. I'm so excited. What you're going to listen to next is the Marathon Community Theater is going to put on for you, with great vim and vigor and gusto, all the things that you can do in Marathon, set to the music, my favorite things. I found it for you, and we're going to play it. You're going to love it. I'll see you next time on Explore the Keys with Chris Emmons. You go have fun, and if you're a local, you're home.
for fishing to swim in the sea. This is a place where they all want to be. Snowbirds who flock here walk bridges with poodles. You can go diving, eat lobster with noodles, then have a stiff drink and come see a show. This is a place where you